Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. My name is Danny De Lillo and we're here at the South Park Center. I'm here with Andrew Howell with his movie, Walk Off. Let's take a look at the clip.
Scouts aren't coming to watch a bad batch.
Scouts aren't coming to watch Cretan versus Rollings either way.
Not with a shitty attitude like that, they're not.
Just stop.
Hey, I didn't give up my Tuesday night to watch you strike out.
It's not like I was trying to.
You weren't trying to get a hit.
Andrew, thank you very much for being here and congratulations on your film.
Thank you. I'm very, very excited to be here, very honored.
And thanks for coming in all the way from New York to be here. For those that haven't seen your film, tell us a brief synopsis.
Yeah, so Walk Off follows the story of a high school baseball star as he's nearing graduation and sort of the relationship with his sports-crazed father and how that evolves as it becomes more clear that he won't be able to play baseball in college.
I'm so happy you made this story because I feel like this example of what this father was going through with his son or his son going through his father is not a unique thing, and you really dived into their relationship in such a way I felt like I was present in the room with them. It was very intimate. Where did the inspiration come for you in creating this project?
Yeah, so the inspiration for Walk Off is largely out of personal experience. I was a high school athlete, sort of in a similar situation as we find Ben in this script. And sort of as I was coming to make this piece, I made this as my senior undergraduate thesis. I was just thinking about like different things in my life and sort of just wanted to, like, it felt like this is what I had to get off my chest, this is what I had to make. And as over the summer before we went into production, I saw an HBO documentary called Trophy Kids that basically follows these different parents and their kids as they, go about their athletic pursuits. And it really was horrifying to me, was, terrifying to see these interactions that were like being passed off as normal, but then also was like so relatable. And I think that movie got to a humanity that I felt like if they can do that with this documentary, then like I want to try and do that with this short film.
Mm-hmm. I think what I was happy you made this film because I feel like in life, society kind of gives us boxes to tick. You know what I mean? We must do this by this age and do this and accomplish this. And our parents, obviously, some parents really set goals for us for certain reasons. And it's difficult. And I think sometimes we glorify the whole perspective of, trophy kids, for example. And I think it was nice you took it from the son's perspective, but still engaging what the dad was feeling as well. And the cast I thought were fantastic, and they had to be, everyone had different kind of feelings and emotions, during the different scenes and what they were experiencing. I thought the father and son were fantastic, and his girlfriend. How was the casting process for you?
The casting process was honestly like the biggest thing that scared me going into this, because I was like, well, we need a lead actor who can play baseball, and we need a dad who can also play baseball and can play this part convincingly in a human way. Thankfully, we had a brilliant producer, Thomas Laub, who produced it alongside our other brilliant producer, Danielle Jakobsen. And he just sort of, me and him worked on that, and we ended up casting Ben Allers, who plays the lead and is sensational, and then Aaliyah Chanel Scott, who is currently in the National Tour of Book of Mormon, playing one of the leads. And everything just fell into place, and it was a dream. And I think that's the really cool thing about like independent production, like these small budget films, is like it's not possible until you start adding people. And like you write the script and it's just an idea, and then you send it to one person, they're like, oh great, I'd love to produce on this. And then I sent it to my DP, who's Scott Harden, and he's like, oh, here are some notes, like I want to be part of this. And then it's the momentum you generate by getting people onto the project that really lets it happen. Casting was just a continuation of that, where all of a sudden you can see it and your film becomes that much more plausible.
Yeah. What was fascinating to me is just it was even the way that you shot it. It just felt like I was just experiencing this there with them, which is kind of uncomfortable because they were going through some quite turbulent scenes together. For you as a director, are you quite hands-on when you're directing them, how to sort of work those intense scenes? Do you do improvisation? How does that work for you?
I think the way that I go about directing is very much like I want to cast these people, and I want to have conversations. And I think, a lot of our pre-production or rehearsal time was just spent with me and Ben talking about this character, me and Alex talking about this relationship, me and Aaliyah and Ben talking about their relationship, just sort of figuring out what we want that to be. And so I think I can't take credit for like a lot of, what they eventually do, but it's sort of just like that collaboration, allowing them to really bring what they have personally to that part. And that's one of the really cool things about casting Ben, is I think like we had common ground in terms of he was a high school athlete, I was a high school athlete, and like so we were able to sort of riff off of that. And I think each of the actors, we were fortunate, brought a lot to their parts. And the crew likewise, like I think our DP brought his influence, and our producers even.
What's it been like taking this out to film festivals and obviously experiencing with us at NewFilmmakers Los Angeles? How's that feeling been like for you to see the audience get to see your film?
It's been a whirlwind. It's unreal in some ways. I think the most nervous I've been for screening is the first time it played in Michigan, and my family was there, and they hadn't seen it before, and I was a little concerned about how that was going to go over. But actually, there's this. I got to see a Q&A Shia LaBeouf did after Honey Boy, and that was obviously a very personal movie for him, and it's about his dad. And the thing that he said that I think really resonated with me is like, at the end of the day, this movie is just a way of saying I love you to those people, and to sort of just like sort out everything. And it was important to me that the movie ended on like this loving note, like whether it's kind, whether it's sad, whether it's scary, whatever. I wanted to make sure that within that was this sort of message of like, it's only because of like the love that they have in this. And I think that was nervous. And then in terms of other festivals, this is actually the first one that we've played at, but we have another one in LA in a week, and then we're playing in Iowa, and so we'll see how those go. And hopefully,
and it felt good last night. You had a good experience.
Yeah. It's a long movie, but I had a good experience.
But it didn't feel. I mean, even though it's a long short film, it didn't feel that way. I was very engrossed in it, and I don't want to give anything away, but I think what was so wonderful is, like you said, about the love. You could feel that without even the words coming out, and there's a particular point at the end where it's just, you can just feel it, it's so powerful in their connection as father and son, and it really came across like really, really strong. And I think, I don't know, do you kind of feel that your film could also, have some other people that may be sort of empathetic or may have experienced certain things that might find your film quite, liberating, actually?
I think that it is a more universal thing. Like, this movie specifically is about baseball and a son's relationship to his father regarding that. But I think like a lot of people have something in that life, whether it's with a parent or an uncle or a boss or something like that, and those relationships. So I do think it is more universal than that.
Yeah. We may not always agree, but we still love each other, you know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
just overcoming that, and I think it was portrayed really, really great. What was the biggest challenge you had?
Biggest challenge, I mean, casting was a big one. Obviously, like when I wrote in like baseball scenes, you know, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. And I think that, learning sort of, and the lessons I learned, like trying to direct action, trying to direct the sports scenes, were big ones. And
Yeah, how is that? Because like, obviously when you watch it, you just think, oh, they're just brilliant. But is there more than one take, or is it, how is that experience?
we had, so there were a few wide shots, and like we were able to pull from the University of Michigan's acting department, like full baseball rosters. And so we had 18 musical theater students out there and baseball uniforms. And so in between takes, they're like doing newsies and stuff like that. And it was really funny to see.
Yeah.
But those shots ended up on the cutting room floor. And I think that it was a lot of takes for a lot of it.
But I'm glad it did. It looked amazing anyway. What is next for you?
I'm currently in pre-production for one short film that I'm hoping to shoot this spring, and then I have another movie that we're just wrapping up post and hopefully sending it out to a few.
What kind of genre are you sticking with?
Family dramas. I think like all the directors and all the movies I think have really like resonated with me. I would say are sort of in that line. The movie that I think was the first time I was like, wait, I have something to say. Like me personally, I can make movies from my own experience. Was this Ozu movie called I Was Born But, that like the whole premise is just two boys realizing their dad isn't as successful as they thought he was. And I was sitting there in the theater, and it's this silent film, and it hit me like a rock, and I was like, and so I think that is largely what I'll continue to deal in.
I mean, obviously, so early, you know, in your career, is there anything that you may have learned from this experience, or any kind of something you go by as a filmmaker that you could share with our audience?
I think the big thing for me that I try and do in my films is like to make sure that during the writing process and during the creative process, I'm spending more time like being introspective than like on Google. Because I think like as I've written high concept stuff and like comedies in the past, I'd find like, oh, I need to figure out how I'm going to do this story beat. And I'd go and I'd search up on Google, like, how does this work? Like this and that. Whereas I feel like a movie like Walk Off, and hopefully with the next two shorts, as I wrote them, it's a lot more of just me sort of internally checking like what I'm doing. Like, does this feel right? Does this feel like, am I being honest here? Is this, and then sort of getting the page down, or getting everything on the page in a way that is emotionally honest, and then sort of working backwards to form a story out of that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Google can only offer so much. There you go. I like that. No, Andrew, thank you very much
Thank you so much for having me.
Sharing your film Walk Off. It was a really wonderful experience, and thank you for being here, and keep making more movies for us, please.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Andrew, everybody, thank you very much.